Oh, yep. Looks good, looks good. Morning, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. On the internet, everyone's a gentleman. So what kind of a day we're going to have today? Anyway, the scaffolding is down this morning. They came and picked it up today, 7:30. Me and the guy with the truck got it all packed up. Yesterday's work turned out okay. It was really, really rushed. We were just trying to get all the work done before the, rental time when the scaffolding ran out. And we had the windiest day of the year yesterday for the day to hang the new sign. So it took 3 of us to hold it under control, get it all laced down, tied down strongly. It's funny, after 2 days of full construction, the front of the building doesn't actually look all that different. So when you look at the before and after pictures of what we did, it doesn't show much difference, but there's some major repair work done. There was a part of the overhang of the front of the building that was just rotten to the core. We just pulled it apart with our bare hands, just rotten wood and stuff just fell apart. So, and we've replaced it all. So, but it doesn't look all that different. The sign is now lower, much more visible to people who are on the same side of the street. People across the street can see it easily, but we've been finding that people walking on this side of the street, they've walked back and forth in front of our place trying to find us. They've been following Google or whatever. It's got the mark somewhere along this block. So they walk along looking for us. And partly because they've got their nose buried in their phone, and partly because of just the sign's too high. They haven't been able to find us. We've had people phone us up for their print party. I'm here, I'm 10 minutes late, but where are you? And they're in front of the actual building itself, but they've still phoned us because they couldn't find us. And once the first floor is open, of course, that'll be that kind of problem should disappear because people can see the shop. But the sign is now lower and more visible all over. We'd hoped to get it even a bit lower, almost right over their heads when people walk by. But the structure of the building, there wasn't supports at that particular location to allow us to move it any farther down. So. Anyway, it's done now, and today, if all goes well, Aoyama-san, he's coming here today. This is Thursday. No. Oh, wait, if he's not here today, he's here tomorrow. The next step in the renovation is going to be putting up the ceiling to the party room. And that's going to be a job for 3 or 4 of us, working overhead. We've got everything in place. But working over your head is no fun, especially when we don't have specialized tools or whatever. As far as the rats go now, this is interesting. We're going to see what happens. And they've been very silent. And of course, once we did all our smashing and banging yesterday, the shop was closed when you got here. So Morning, Jetson. So it's interesting, when we did that renovation yesterday, when we tore out all that rotten wood, the place where, you know, the rats have been coming in and out, there was no actual sign of them. Like, there was a little bit of rat shit here and there, but, you know, the rats were clearly not staying in that area. They were just passing through on their way into their inner sanctum. But it's totally blocked now, as of yesterday afternoon. That entrance and exit for them has been totally blocked. And now we're just going to wait and see what happens. So at the moment, as I sit here, I don't hear anything from upstairs here. But just have to wait and see. Whether they're panicking, or whether they already have a plan B in place, or whether they've already left to go somewhere else, I don't know. No idea. We'll just have to see what happens. We saw no sign of them themselves. Okay, you already finished this block. Just got one little area here to clean, and then we'll get busy on the second one, cutting the second one. There's going to be 5 color blocks for this print. I missed a corner, look at that. There's also something else I wanted to tell you about what happened yesterday here, but I can't do it. How do I say this? We had an experience yesterday of, I'm trying to choose my words carefully here. Conversation came up both in this stream and then something I posted on Facebook without really thinking about it too much, and it had a strong effect here yesterday. But if I try and tell you the story, it'll sound like the same thing all over again. So I'm not quite sure how to say this. You know, Shiba-san, whatever, let's try this. Shiba-san, one of our young girls here, she popped into the stream yesterday. When she came into work here Wednesday morning, she dumped her bag just next to where I sit here, because this is the dumping room, whatever, where stuff goes. And I said, come and say hello to the stream, whatever. And she leaned over to the stream here. And she said her hellos and stuff, and we chatted a little bit about her experience. You know, she's making woodblock prints here by herself, not just working in the shop. And one of her prints that she's made has been doing really well recently. It's an attractive image and stuff. And because it has been talked about a little bit on social media, she was in my stream here last week doing sizing. And then yesterday's experience, she dropped into the stream and we chatted a little bit about it. Well, just that little bit of exposure, without us trying to think, hey, how can we promote Shiba-san's work? What can we do for this? Without thinking about that sort of stuff. Just the very fact of, organically. She came in and dumped her bag and said hello. Within the next 3 or 4 hours, there were 5 orders online for her print. So we're now sort of getting into a situation where we're a little bit nervous about talking about stuff. Like right now, I'm telling you this story. Why am I telling you this story? Because it was an interesting thing that happened to us yesterday, or because we're trying to get more orders? I don't know. It starts to go around in circles and circles and circles, you know. This social media thing and the community and the fans and everything is such a it's a thing that we certainly really don't understand yet, you know. But clearly it's helping us stay alive, you know. But how to take care of that community without making it seem like we're trying to take advantage of the community, how to just be part of it, I don't know. Gets the grain there. Anyway, she's not coming today, so we're safe today. Cameron will be here by his time. He's got nothing to, he doesn't make prints, so we're okay. So. He's got his own stories. Boy, oh boy, we've got some issues with part of his job going on right now. We've got some trouble this morning, so he and I are going to have to be wrestling with computers and stuff this morning. I'll wait till he gets here because we're going to be talking about it. So. Okay, I think this block is now done, ready for first proofing anyway. You need to zoom out a bit to see what it is. The registration marks here, so I'll put on top here. This is the outlines of what the print will look like when we're done. And this is reversed, of course, on here. So perhaps you can see what's going to happen here if I put them side by side a little bit. Are we right side up or upside down? Upside down. So these areas here, again, we keep having new people in these streams all the time, so I'm not sure how much to explain and how much not to explain. What we've got here is, this is the image, what will be the key lines, and this is one of 5 blocks that will put colors on the print. And perhaps you can see what happens here. There's a shape up here at the top that matches now the shape up here at the top. So when we're printing, the color that gets rubbed on this area that I'm touching right now will be the color that appears in the background of this print. And maybe it'll be a blue for the sky, maybe it'll be green for bushes and stuff. I don't know. At the time we cut the color blocks, we still don't even know actually what tint is going to go on here. Then moving down to the bottom one, if you can see, for example, here, there's a crisscross thing here. That matches up to the crisscross part here. So when we're printing, whatever color we rub on this wood is the color that will appear in this area. And it all matches here. Of course, again, as I said, it's on a mirror image because we do our printing upside down. This zone here, this patch matches this patch. So this is one of 5 color blocks. We'll move on now. I've got 4 more to do. And we're working here really slowly because I'm just actually working only a few minutes a day on this. Let's get that out of the way. We'll use the back of this. So here's the next one. And we got confusion, I think, yesterday when people were talking about yellow and yellow and yellow. I've tinted these sheets with a marker, fluorescent marker, with a yellow-green color. This doesn't relate at all to the color that will be used in the finished print. This is just yellow-green so that it's bright, so that I can see it. And again, you can see what's going to be happening. Well, this is not reversed yet because it hasn't gone upside down yet. But I'm tinting areas. And you can see now this is obviously something that's going to be related to the wood that's here. These are pieces of bamboo, a bamboo ladle, a piece of bamboo, a water dipper, the bench itself, the wood block on it, the chips flying off, the mallet. Clearly what's going to be printed from this block will be a woody color. It'll be a beige base tone. There will be more blocks on top of that, but that's what this one will be for. It doesn't cover the water, it doesn't cover the concrete, the background, or the skin. This will be a woody color. Okay, what I'm going to now do is take this positive version, I'm going to paste it down so that it turns reversed, and then get carving. This is another point that I constantly get emails about, people are confused about. It's a little piece of plastic, and I'm going to use it in a minute here to cut the registration marks. But this piece of plastic isn't the thing that creates the registration distances and the registration layout. I could cut it this way. It doesn't matter. You know, again, I'm trying to anticipate the emails that are going to be coming in. This test proof sheet was printed from the key block, which has registration marks. And I put the paper carefully into the registration marks to take the impression. So the registration on this paper is not created by any marks here. It's created by the existence of the edge of the paper. That's where the registration is. We now move along to the new block. And I'm going to cut registration marks on there, and I can put them anywhere I like. As it happens, this piece of wood looks clean, so I'm just guessing I'm going to put it in my normal place down in this corner. But if I test this and look around underneath, it could be that maybe I find a defect in the wood that's going to line up with something important in the print. Then I wouldn't do that. I'd move the registration mark somewhere else so that the defects are okay. We've got a bit of variation in our wood here. You can see I could move it this far, still okay. I could move it up and down. So I've got enough play here that I can avoid these marks. Now there is one such thing on this block, and I don't know if this is going to show on the camera. Can you see there's a sort of a reddish, right in front of my finger there. It's not the normal wood grain. It's a really hard spot. And to me it shows red. I'm not sure what it's going to show on the camera. I'm moving it around here trying to find it. Let me put my finger back on it. It's right at the tip of my fingernail here. And it's a really hard patch in the wood. And those of you who saw me make the print, the one I did when I did a print in 3 hours, it's the woman sitting in the water. And in the water there's a place where we're getting a white streak when we print. That's what it was. It was one of these reddish little parts of the wood. And because it's really hard, water doesn't go inside, pigment doesn't sit on top, and you get a white streak in the finished print. Now let's have a look at where that is. If I put my paper in the normal place for my registration marks, If I look for this thing, no, it's falling right here outside of a printed area. So we're going to be safe. If it fell, say, right here on this wood, I'd have to decide what to do. Leave it or move this around to avoid it. As far as I can see, that's it. There's just that one. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to cut my marks and just get this thing glued down. I can't do it with those glasses. Okay, those of you with headphones on are going to make a bang. It'll make a noise. It might startle you. Just a second here. If you've got headphones on, please be careful. One bang coming up. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. If that didn't wake you up. This mark is no longer needed. So there you go. The new marks are created, and in a moment I'll put glue on here. This will go down. So that's how our registration transfer works. Okay, let me get this moistened up here. A bit of water before putting the glue on. And it's Goldilocks. It's too little, nothing won't stick, and too much, and it goops into the paper, and the paper starts to smear and slide, and we lose our registration. It's just right, and I can't tell you in words how much it is. You're just going to have to get some experience. I've had both happen to me in the younger time, of course, you know. Not enough glue, and then once you're carving, whoop, it rips off, and you're lost. And the swirling around is much more dangerous because you don't know that it's gone wrong. But if there's too much glue here, when we're rubbing and getting it dry, if it distorts and you don't notice it until you're printing, you start printing and none of the colors match, and you can move the registration marks and it won't work. So, power of his bare hands. Who needs a bare hand? Off comes the backing sheet. Didn't have a whole lot of extra left there, did I? This is a famous Gumpy paper, and it's so thin and so nicely layered. But even though it's thin, you can still peel off layers. Look at that. This is not like exactly half. I know we're not splitting it in half. I don't even know. I can't tell. There's just a bunch of the back is coming off, leaving the very front layer, which has the image on it. Getting a pretty decent peel here today. Okay. What have we got for comments here and stuff? Oisha. Looks like conversation going on. I can't see it all. I'll try and catch up to it later. Someone's asking about oil rather than water. If I need, this one's really thin, I can see it clearly, but if it's a bit faint, we've talked about this before, I use a bit of camellia oil. We don't just slather it on. A bit of camellia oil, and if I put that on there, it can make the paper even more transparent, making the lines much easier to see. And someone's asking, why don't I use water? Well, if I use water, it's going to wash off the glue, obviously. What am I going to paint on the steel storm doors? I know it's still open. Step one is we're probably not going to paint. We're going to use what they call shutter graphics. We're going to use an image we create on the computer, send it out to a specialized company, and they print it on some thick film stuff which we laminate onto the door. So it won't be painted on, it'll be printed and laminated on. And actually, Cameron had a contact with people who had been on this stream, somebody in Canada who works for or nearby or with a shutter graphics company. And Cameron told me that he had asked them, or they had agreed to send over a sample or something of what they make. That was a couple of weeks ago, so I don't see if anything happening. When Cameron gets here today, can you remind me, jog me about this? Ask Cameron what's happening on the shutter graphics. As far as the image goes, one of our young girls is working on that, and let's just leave that under wraps for a while. We have something nice planned. I know it's not going to be an owl, and no, it's not going to be my face. But we have something interesting planned for the graphics. Very much suiting our district, the Asakusa district. Okay, let's get going on this. Where am I? Am I on camera? Also, people are asking about this. This is for a color block. Where do I carve the edge of this? Do I carve in the middle of the line, on the outside of the key line, or on the inside of the key line? Can we see what's happening here? For these the prints that we call chibis, the lines are really quite fat. Other than some of our typical ukiyo-e, where these lines are hair lines. And it depends on, you have to think forward a bit to be what color you're going to be printing. Imagine, for example, that the color here, can you see where I am? Yeah. Imagine that this was going to be a dark tone in the finished print. And this was going to be a light tone in the finished print. And that this line was really thin. Imagine it. It's difficult to get exactly in the middle of the line. And this is light and this is dark. So what do? If we carve too much this way in the line, there's a real danger of having an open space and you get a white streak along the side of it if the color zone doesn't quite match. But if you carve too much on the outside of the line, then this color might bump into that color. But if this is dark and this is light, it wouldn't matter. So if I was carving a delicate ukiyo-e here, I would think forward. And if this was going to be light and that was going to be dark, I'd carve tending towards the outside of the line. If this was going to be light and this was going to be dark, I'd tend to carve towards the inside of the line to minimize the chances of getting it wrong. On a print like this now, where these lines are so big and fat, this is like a millimeter wide line, we are not going to have any problem with registration. I can just carve right down the middle of this fat line and I know the print is going to be okay. Look at this. It's like riding down in the middle of an 8-lane freeway all by yourself in one little car. It's just no problem at all. So much easier than our normal work on fine lines. Suga-san this week, and she'll be... Oh, I forgot to take her paper out of the fridge. Whoa. Good, thanks for reminding me, like you didn't, but okay, excuse me. I've got to go upstairs for a minute. I've got to get Suga-san's paper. Oh, if that's her... Oh, shit!
Good morning. Stream live. Good morning.
Good. No, I thought it was Suga-san. I forgot to take her paper out of the fridge.
She actually said she's not coming today. She told me yesterday at least. I don't know.
Ah, so I didn't screw up.
No. So God. She said, because I feel smart if I'm taking a day off. Okay, I won't touch it.
Christian Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
So. I'm streaming. I'm in
this morning?
the middle of the stream. I am, but I when I heard the doorbell, I thought it was Suga-san. So I just told him,
Gotta run.
Gotta run. Hey. Oh, sure. I got lucky twice. It wasn't Suga-san, it was Cameron, as you saw. And second, he tells me she's not coming today. Whoa! Saved by the bell. I don't deserve this. Oh my God. I totally screwed up, and I'm saved by the bell, whatever.
Yeah. You actually didn't mess up. So works out.
Whoo. What's this? Dave is lucky. Look at this. Dave is lucky here. They're reminding me. Shutter Graphics. I know.
Yeah.
They were asking what's on the graphics, and I said, Cameron's got all. Wait a minute. They were going to send us a sample. They haven't sent us a sample.
He said he sent it. It's on the way.
They might be at home there. Have they got them mixed up with the wrong address?
I gave him this one, but I'll check
Has
if
it
he
arrived
sent
and
it.
it's like sitting here somewhere,
I
or
hope not.
mail usually gets dumped on my desk. I haven't seen it.
that's what I
We're
thought
talking
too.
about like a couple of weeks ago. The show A4.
Yeah, just an A4 size sheet. So let's...
Well, I know I really haven't seen anything. I've been waiting for
I'll follow
something
up
like
with
that.
the guy.
But yeah,
I'll see. It's alright.
here, take away this
Okay.
thing. So,
Here, I'm gonna make sure I don't cut the string too bad.
an A4 envelope, right? Or was it rolled up, or was it flat? Or
Just said about
it's
A4
coming from
size.
overseas.
Yeah,
Was it like
from
FedEx
Canada.
or something, or just in the post, or
Didn't
FedEx?
say,
or-
so I'll check.
Okay.
I'll check with him.
we were going to pay for
happened.
postage, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Did we? Or
I told him. He said after we ship it, I'll tell you how much it is, but he hasn't said that part
Right.
yet. So
Okay.
we'll see.
I didn't copy it in all there, so.
Okay. That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I came up and I saw the desk was empty, so I waved and said, "Hey, is
Well, you
the
thought it was
stream
a stream.
going on?"
Dave's
Because I
not
saw
here.
the chat scrolling up.
That's okay.
And,
Dave's had a rush trip to the toilet or something.
Yeah. Everyone's intruder. And they forgot paper. Dave made a mad dash to take paper from the fridge. It's okay. It's not her.
No, but even if it wasn't you, she was coming. Got to be out a couple of hours in advance.
Yeah.
What happened this morning is the guy came to pick up the scaffolding.
Right.
So just at the time. So
Right at the
I was
beginning
just
of
going
the
to get in
stream?
the shower. Just getting in the shower.
Oh,
Bing, the
no.
guy phones. He's early. He's supposed to be here at 7:30. So I was just going to get in the shower. Bing, which is my routine. Shower, come out of the shower, take the paper out of the freezer,
Right.
get clothes on, blah, 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 blah,
But
blah.
the routine
Hitting
was
intro,
broken.
Bang, the routine was totally broken. I'm downstairs, grabbing, putting my pants up as I go down the stairs, getting my gloves, and he and I, pop, 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 pop. And he was such a nice guy 2 days ago helping us set it up.
Yeah.
That today I can't just stand there and let him load it in the truck. So
Yeah.
I got to help him get it in. And there's a certain order they have to go in. We need piece one,
no.
piece two before it fits in his truck.
Oh.
And we didn't know that, so we've just put him in the shop.
just random order,
random
yeah.
order. So, and of course, the first one that has to go in the truck is the one that's
The one
in
on
the
the
back.
Of course. Oh no.
He's a real nice guy. He was so helpful the other
Oh,
day. So whatever, just smile and run with the program and get it going. So that took like 20 minutes. Like that's
Yeah.
it. My routine's gone. Oh, what's next?
Stream.
So,
Oh no.
but I can't. If I tell that to Sugi-san, she's just gonna and then
And then you pulled out the paper,
so,
right?
yeah, right? So. We got that thing done just in time yesterday. The wind, God, the wind,
It was unbelievable.
So, and I'm thinking that Baron could have been a sail. Like the building could have flown away or something.
Yeah, the building could have flown
Whatever. I mean,
away.
it came through just perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's a great test right there. We put it up that afternoon in the wind, and that
then-
evening is a giant storm. So,
It was just wild. Let's see. Apparently that little thing was a highlight for the archive. They've already uploaded it. Or no, made a clip out of it.
what,
called
Dave
the paper
panicking
caper.
and running upstairs?
Yeah.
That was- but how much of this stuff makes sense to anybody seeing it later? Without the backstory, it doesn't make any
no.
sense.
Yeah. So to watch the clip later, we have Ken Hallett warning Dave used a bad word on the paper caper.
Did I? What did I say? Let me roll back
Oh.
my internal tape. Oh, the S word. It's okay. I know.
It's okay.
All right, no problem. That's not so repulsive, I think. It's that's what swear words are for, I mean, really, there's
Panic.
no, we have these thing we call swear words.
Yeah.
If you use it every sentence, it's meaningless and it's silly.
Mm-hmm.
But when there's a moment, surely that's okay, right?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose my mother's going to come on now and say, "There's never such a moment" or something. I don't know.
I didn't teach you these words like that. Someone's reminding me then, even though you were just talking about it, maybe this was up before, but remind me to ask you about the graphic for the shutter door. So have you or Nakamura-san thought about
We're-
some designs? You're working on
Yes,
something?
we have it. We have the design
Oh,
settled,
great.
and it's just a question of how are we making it. She's
Yeah.
trying to make it, and I sort of don't like the way she's going at it. So she and I are wrestling a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you have the
We know what we're
basic
going to
outline.
do. We know exactly what we want to do,
Okay.
and whether it's we use a photograph and edit the photograph, or whether we draw from scratch as an illustration.
Right, right.
And I really want a photograph,
Okay.
but we can't. The thing doesn't exist, so we can't take a photograph of the thing
Yeah.
that doesn't exist. So we have to do our.
Does anyone have really, really good Photoshop skills?
Yeah, we need good Photoshop skills, and she and I were sort of not zero, but we are not, the kind of people that can make forgeries.
Yeah. So she...
So we're wrestling with it. And she just says, look, let's just
She's
do a flat
interested in
graphic.
just doing
A
an
flat
illustration.
graphic. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
And I don't want a flat graphic. I want a
Yeah.
photograph. I want it to be photographic detail.
Yeah.
So she and I are wrestling with it.
Okay. didn't see this, but someone said the tattoo line from Jed was probably one of my favorite moments. Do you know what that might be about? Okay. Korean Gummy says, I can help with Photoshop if you want. Send us an email to the question box and maybe we'll chat. Or
So write an email and we'll chat. I don't want to talk about it too much on the stream right now because
Right.
it's sort of, we're trying to keep a surprise on this thing, but
Yeah.
we're not that secretive about it.
Yeah.
The thing is, it also needs calligraphy skills. Or, knowledge of Japanese calligraphy and stuff. So.
Right.
Also, to ask you again something I asked you before, the young man who was helping us with the blog thing, the Facebook to the blog transfer. Mm-hmm. I've written to him a couple of times now, asking I got to get an hourly timesheet from you and stuff. Yeah. Is he here? Because I still haven't had a reply back.
Yeah, we talked about either having me write or you write, and I thought, so you've written to him, but we just haven't heard back.
So I haven't heard back. So it's either a spam problem or he's just busy with stuff or whatever. Yeah. But if he's here,
his username, or should I say his real name?
I don't know his username. That's the problem. Yeah. So I know his real name, neither, because he got one of the prints from the 3-hour stream prints.
Oh, right.
Well, no problem. If he's here, he can speak up.
Yeah.
Because the blog is now very much back to...
Yep, it's functioning.
Also, how did you do that last night? I've set it so that it only takes 3 pictures at a time because it's a script timeout.
Okay.
If you use raw pictures from your camera, they're about 1.9 megs.
Yeah.
And it turned out that the script times out at that end. And I've got to figure out how to reset that. So that's why I pulled it down to 3.
Got it. And I put 7.
Yeah.
Because I created the file or the image size manually. I just resized them, but longest length 450 and longest length 120 and matched
1200.
Or 1200, yeah, sorry. And matched your naming style. So just leave the file size and then add large. And then put them in FTP into the right.
All right, I wasn't quite sure how you did it.
Yeah.
What I've been
it's a manual workaround.
What I've been doing as an interim is simply I make my post first with the 3 that's allowed and don't publish it yet.
Yeah.
And then I make a test post and a test post running up 3 and we're running up 3. Because it puts them in the right direction, puts them in with the same name, whatever. Right. Then go to the my PHP, whatever, and kill the other 2.
Okay, that makes sense.
But whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, as soon as I figure out how to make the script to not time out.
Yeah.
It may be a hosting limitation that we can't get around, or it may be just my own settings in the PHP issue.
I think I've seen a similar issue. Sometimes in HT-Access you might be able to update it, but it totally depends on the server, the hosting company. So.
Okay, we've also got lots of things on it. Did you see the memo from Pear this morning?
Another one from Pear?
Yeah. They are going to everybody who has an SSL certificate.
Right.
They are going to themselves shut down non-secure access. In other words, you won't be able to access any files that are HTTP once you've got your certificate on.
Okay.
And that means if I haven't caught any of the little hard-coded things inside, those will be blocked.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I'm not sure. They may just be doing it. They say they're going to turn it on. I think it's the 13th or something. They're going to turn it on. I forget what it says.
Okay.
And they may just be doing it by popping something into the HT access because most of their customers don't know anything about that.
Right.
So it may conflict with what we've got in there. So we have to write to support today to make sure, because we're handling this ourselves. We are redirecting.
Yep.
And I don't want to bollocks that. So.
Peekaboos is offering PHP help too. But I think you've got a lot of experience with PHP.
I think we're okay on that so far. If I know there are certainly a lot of people with more experience than me, mainly almost everybody, but so far
it's php.ini is the file, not
that's what I meant.
Of course. Yeah, sorry.
No, we're talking about 2 different things. HT access was the redirect for the secure server.
Right.
The file upload limit was in a different place.
Okay.
So we do have that set. So that's something we're in control of.
Cool.
We know enough.